Tell us your name, man.
Armondo Lacasius Adams.
All
Let me
right.
say it again. Armondo Lacasius Adams.
Gotcha. All
Mm.
right. What you do, man? Of course I know you, but tell the people about
Well, I've recently for to celebrate over 30 years of music. I've
you.
been
Wow.
preaching for 27 years, and I've been pastoring for 17 years. So basically, that's just my life. Music, installment of TV sound system. So I'm musically inclined all the way around. So that's basically my entire life.
Okay. All right. So, pretty much you do music. We know you got a hot quartet group.
Right, right.
Been singing quartet for years.
Yes.
Tell
Just celebrated 24 years this year
Okay.
with Redemption. Before that, I played keyboard and drums for a couple of groups. So the Lord have really blessed my music career. I have no complaints. I wish I could do more. But from where I'm at this point, I'm happy and satisfied what God blessed me with. And I don't want to just do gospel. To the church, I know they probably ain't gonna like this part, but I do a little R&B as well because I'm a producer and I'm a writer. So I write from the heart, and I don't write uh, about you know women or call them this great not their names. My stuff is more basic around love, and so you know, and I do a little country too, but I don't do as much of that.
All right. So you just brought up something real interesting right there. Locations.
Right.
First of all, tell us what's the difference in Armando and locations.
Oh wow. Okay. uh, Armando is the church guy, the nice guy. And the Casey is the love language.
Okay.
Mundo is who you don't want to meet. You don't
Mm.
want to meet him. He's another dude. But
Oh, so it's three of them.
oh, yeah, three of them. Yeah. It's three of them. It's three of them. It's three of them. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So you just dropped this new single.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the single "Compare" that you just released.
Compares a love song from the heart. Wrote, anytime I write a song, sometimes it's to an individual, or sometimes it's something that's in my head that I just want to play and sing. So the song it means a lot because it's a ballad. It put me in a place where when I was playing it, I had no idea that I would be in the studio playing the same. That's come from my producer Josh Miles, and once I did it, it made the song come more to life to me. And it's a wedding song, a love song, and I was hoping that people that's in love, whether married or not, man and woman now, married or not, hope I won't get in trouble with that. But married or not, I hope they would get that song and really listen to what the word is saying. And it's a flip song because all I got to do is change a couple of words and talk about him.
That's right. That's right. So you don't do a whole lot of cussing and
Oh no,
bad language.
no,
And
no, no,
all
no,
that
no.
kind of stuff.
I'm a lover. That's about it. I don't do all that other stuff. That's because it's for those people, but for me, it's to keep people together and make people think. What love really is between two individuals. So no cussing and talking all up dresses and all this. Nah, no, I don't do that.
So you ain't pulling out the R. Kelly lyrics. Huh?
I won't be in no camera like that. I stick with this side.
I got you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So on the flip side of that, you released two Redemption,
Right.
One Man, which
Yes,
you got
sir.
on the hat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Released with One Man. Tell us about that song, where that come about.
Well, one man actually, one of my former members, Marcus Slim Johnson, had a song entitled "Can't Thank Him Enough," and we was at the Bland family's anniversary, and when he got through singing his song, he would give me the end of the song to work the song, and as I got through, man, the Holy Spirit gave me. We went to One Man, and ever since then, we never stopped, and nothing we practiced on, it was something that God gave us. So as I went to the studio, I told the Lord, I said, Lord, what are you saying with this song? Give me what you're saying. He said, just go to the book and talk about me. That's it. you know. And we sung the song 2 years before we recorded, you know. And the Lord blessed us when we did a live recording in October the 29th, I think, 2022. And man, that song has really been blessing. I used to think they want to hear other stuff, but every time I go in the door, there's one man. So I give him one man, you know.
That's it, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. So, you know, when you're talking about him, you
Never
can't
go wrong. No, you can't go wrong talking about that one man.
That's it.
No.
Like you said, in the studio, you were looking for content and what to say, and he said, go to the book.
That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
when you go to the book, man,
You can talk about
got lyrics for days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So, you're a family man. You got 2 kids. Talk about your family, man.
Well, a Monty and Chloe means a lot to me. For years, I thought that I couldn't have kids. You know, I didn't have no children in my first marriage, and at one point in life, I felt like I just couldn't. So when Chloe come along, you know, it kind of changed my life. It made me stop drinking. You know, because I was you know somewhat of an alcoholic, if you want to call it. We could talk about that soon, a little later. And then right after her, then a Monty popped up. You know, I like, wow, you know. So as soon as he popped up, you know, I ain't gonna say he's not a mistake, but he came in on an apology, and I think you know what that is. So on the apology, he came in, and my kids are life to me because they have a unique way of talking to me, and they feel parents' pain. So I watch both of them. They totally got something from me. My daughter can sing like an angel, and my son I believe is going to be a musician, a genius. And I thank God because if they don't take nothing else from me, they took that part. You know, so my daughter sings well, and my son is a musician. So for both of them, man, they are light to me. You know, and I thank God for both of them.
So you just mentioned something, man, that I didn't even know about. You been married before?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got married early. I got married at a young age, and I think most of that came about because if you know church folk, if you dating, the first thing they tell you to do get better married than to burn, and you're a young preacher out here, you don't need to do this and do that. So I married a beautiful young lady, man, and I wasn't trained. I wasn't taught. I wasn't raised in a family where it taught me how to be a husband. So I had 2 shots at it, and I'm not afraid to say I failed at both of them. But the thing that I get out of both of them is training me that even in marriage, you know, it takes a lot. It's nothing that you just jump in. And I said this a few weeks ago in my sermon. A lot of people spend more time putting their money into the ceremony and not the holy matrimony. And when you weigh that, you spend thousands of dollars for one day, and you spend thousands of time with, and you still lose. You know, so in my first marriage, that I wasn't ready, but I was trying to do it because church people. Okay, and in this previous marriage, you know, if I could speak to men, sometimes the women want some of the simplest things, but we miss it. And when we miss it, it throws everything out of phase. So I would quickly say this, and I would promise you I would say this with everything in me. Both of the marriages, I had to take the blame for both. One reason, because if you go back to the Bible, God didn't blame Eve. He dealt with Adam. So now he dealing with Adams. And he deal with Adam then. Right? Adams now. But 2 beautiful women that I pray to God that I didn't scar their life, but if I did, they know, both of them know I apologize to them, and hopefully that at this point of life, that everybody can move in peace and move in happiness, but we all still can be friends. And you know, I think that would be my outtake on that.
So, is your first wife she's still around here?
Oh yeah, she's in Starville. She might be an evangelist now, but she's a powerful woman of God. I know that. Now, one thing I can say is the two I did marry, they got some power. Both of them. They could pray. I believe they could preach. So yeah, she's still around, doing well. From what I see, on Facebook, we don't have contact, but for what I see, I think she's doing well in life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, the marriage that you, so talk about your marriage. You said in previous.
Right. So we both decided that the divorce would be what we need to do, and so we're in that process now. We're just in the waiting till the days come up and everything's done. But a good woman, good mother. I mean, nothing much more you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? So, to whoever, they may laugh and count our loss. Well, I mean, it's just like this. Is what I feel like. I ain't now team always win every game.
Right.
So, but both of them, I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? But we just couldn't make it in life, man. And most of it, my part, I fought for 40 years, man. I'm 43 now, but over 40 years, I've fought a life of not knowing who my real father is, and the closer I get to feeling like I done found him, it always crushes me. So for years, I was a young boy, but this anger was growing up in me, and a lot of people don't know, when it comes to life like that, if it's something growing in you as a kid and it grows up and when you get grown, man, you do stuff, man, that you really don't know you done, and say some stuff you really don't know you done said. So, man, I fought for years. I heard it for years. I cried for years. I asked for answers. And at a time in my life, especially when the Lord started blessing me musically, here come this guy, I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. And it brought anger because all y'all can't be my daddy now. Especially if I want to stop now and tell you the truth. I ain't never one of y'all bought me no keyboard. I ain't seen no drum, no drumstick, no nothing. So you like what I do to make you look good, but you ain't had no dollar in the fight, So, and I got to a point where I just said, I am tired of feeling like this, but everybody else feel like I'm wrong for talking about it. But I had to deal with it because this is the hurt Armondo went through. So people that felt like they knew me, you don't even know my story. You don't know why I act the way I act. You don't know why I feel the way I feel. So at this point in life, I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy since 2020. It's helping me release some stuff. And the stuff that I'm trying to release is allowing people to understand. You see me on the stage. You see me preaching. But you never see me in my dark places. When I'm at home by myself, in my room by myself, with the lights off, and sometimes I don't do no sage now, but I do my little, I light my little incense and just sit there and just listen to music and try to clear my mind, because I say I'm tired of living in hurt. I'm tired of living in pain. So when church people don't know this, they quickly take your fault and they throw it everywhere. Well, he did this, he did that, he ain't doing this, and you don't understand a lot of stuff that I'm battling with. I'm battling look like by myself. I'm not battling with nobody else. So when at one time, I don't know if you remember, but one time when Redemption kind of first started and got hot, if you mess with the microphone, I throw the microphone down. I was kicking microphone stands over. I almost got to fighting with a couple of guys because I was living in anger. People wouldn't understand. I wasn't meaning to forcefully do this at you, but right now I'm fighting some stuff and ain't nobody helping me. I can't find it nowhere. It's easy for the church to say, well, go to Jesus. Well, y'all keep telling me go to Jesus, but the folks tell me go to Jesus. Like, you need to go too, because they were getting divorced. They were fighting. They were going through. I'm like, man, how you going to tell me? And we doing the same thing. So it was just a point of my life, man. I just come unglued. I'm just now at a point where I could talk about this without even shedding a tear. It was a time I couldn't talk about it. I'd be so angry. I'd have probably been, R. Kelly, I'd have probably been upset, but I'm laughing now because I'm trying to take my hurt and put it in a form where either I can help somebody else, I can write about it, I can preach about it, I can sing about it, and hopefully the right person hear me. If the record company don't, if I don't make millions off, if I could stop somebody from jumping off the bridge, from shooting themselves or shooting somebody, I'd rather tell my story to help them. So that's basically what I've fought for years. And sometime I had got to a point I tried to talk to this person and they just wouldn't give me the answer. So I turned to the bottle.
Yeah.
You know.
So before we jump into that part, so the part about your father, have you had those talks with your mom, and have you really dealt with that? You
Yes. My mom got pregnant with me at 14, and she had me at 15. But the guys was grown. See what I'm saying? So it was all almost like my mom was overtaken. You know what I'm saying? So me and her used to fight a lot and get into it a lot. And one day my auntie told me, which is the guy I've been calling my dad all my life, his sister, said, Armondo, you can't look at your mama like that. So I want to ask you a question. How you feel your daughter, 14 years old, get pregnant, but she get pregnant by somebody who she was just messing around with. She just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And at 14 years old, but it was a grown man, how would you feel? Think about how she feel. So I started looking at my mom different, like maybe she really don't know. Man, you know the minds of 14, 15, 16-year-old, they're out there doing whatever they want to do at this time. So, we fought. We got into a lot of altercations, but after talking to her, I made up my mind, I got to do this on myself. So the guy had been calling daddy for 40 years, asked me right after COVID, I think 2021, he said, so Armondo, do you really want to know, am I your father or not? I said, yeah. I said, man, it's been 40 years, man, and we've been around this too long. And after talking to him, long story short, we took the test, come back 0-0. But it's somebody in his family that we're believing, and I'm just not want to speak on that, but we're believing that some kind of truth gonna come out, because it's too many stories. But at 43, like I told people, you weren't there when I wanted to commit suicide. You weren't there when I almost gave up. You weren't there around when I'm losing 2 marriages and fighting this and fighting this. You weren't around with that. But you okay. You know who your dad is. You know who your child dad is. It's good for you and it's easy for you, but it's not easy for me. So in order for me to really get what I need to get, I just want truth. I don't want no money. I don't want nothing from them. If I can get the truth, and that's basically it. And all the truth is a DNA test, And if you did it, that's 43 years ago. And if the church can't forgive you for that, they ain't the church. That's just people. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I hear that, man. And you said it just over time, man. The anger just kept building and building,
yes.
And it forced you into a place where you had to try to subside the pain with something.
Yeah.
And so you turned to the alcohol.
I turned to the alcohol and women.
Gotcha.
After my first marriage, after
how long did that last?
About 4 years.
Okay.
But after, and I don't want to display it, but after some things happened I wasn't ready for. And when it did it, it crushed me, because I had folk, now I would say that I had people that were with me, that were singing with me, that supposed to been with me, supposed to been covering me, but at the same time, because they didn't like my gift, they didn't like that they wasn't in the light, what can we do to get at him? And that's what they did. They targeted my wife, probably who was vulnerable at the time, who that was easily influenced. So when everything happened, it hurted me, because I felt like, these guys should have been like, Armondo, you got a good wife, man. Come on, let's do this. But it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, everybody hitting everybody, nobody care. But what crushed me so much on that point was, I said, how do I get past a hurt of guys that I felt like that should have been close to me? It got to a point, man, that I said it's just unbelievable. Even to guns on the van. Even to one guy, man, for real. I took my granddaddy's shotgun and a pistol, man. And if it wasn't for one of the guys in the van, dude, as soon as we left to go out of town, I was going to take him out and care. Because now I'm hurt. But y'all laughing and playing about the issue. So I just got to a point, man, I said, man, I'm done with this. So a lot of early part of redemption, glory year, people didn't understand, man. Man, I was a nervous wreck. Seriously, man. And I remember I never would go to the liquor store because when I was being a preacher, I didn't want nobody to catch me. But I used to make my uncle because I knew as long as I supplied him, he'll supply me. So I would go to the store and get 2 big scope bottles, pour it out, pour my liquor in there, put it in my bag, and just ride out. That's what I did for years, man. I was preaching, and a preacher friend of mine told me, said, "Preacher, I sure want you to do my revival, man, but if you don't stop drinking," I can't say, "Man, how you know I'm drinking?" He said, "Man, I smell it through your pores. So when you sweat." So he knew. Nobody had to tell him because I never displayed it because I always did it in private. And man, I would drink just to go to sleep. I would drink to get peace. And then one time I went to a church. It was in Omaha, Nebraska. And the preacher said, "You want to wet your throat." Man, I thought we were talking about cranberry juice. Man, that man slid that cabinet back. And this the time I was like, man, I don't need to be drinking nothing. But man, he had every drink that I was drinking. Oh, wow. In a church. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, God, how do I get past this? And he was showing me, this is what you got to go through. So I asked God to help me. And when my daughter was born, it slowed me down. I didn't stop, but it did slow me down at that time. But I turned to the bottle. And women, when I grew up in school, I didn't have a lot of dates. I had girlfriends and nothing like that. I wasn't popular. But somehow when I got in quartet and my name started floating, it was easy. I was like, you mean to tell me I missed all of that in school and I could have anything I want out here? And I lost it, I lost it because not that I wanted to be famous, but I always wanted to be somebody. I got hurt playing football, so I lost that. I couldn't do that. I left school, dropped out of school to get on the road to play instruments. And it just got to a point I just said, you know what, man, I might as well just live it up. I just stopped caring. So with women, I mean, it's very easy. If they calling your name and they give you the attention you want, people can say whatever they want to say. If you ain't feeding your spirit, your flesh gonna get out of whack, and that's what happened to me now. I should have had some kids on the road, but thank you, Jesus. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, you should. You know what I'm saying?
I just hope none come up. Please don't. Please. I be thinking about if one man get real hot, man, they're going, "Hey, one man, come here." But hey, I know this for a fact that I did it. I'm not ashamed of it. I just want God to use what I did to help the next young man. I used to tell this young man, "Listen, man, you don't want the life of child support. You don't want the life of baby mama drama or having this child. You don't want that because it ain't a good life. Because, come on, it's hard for a married couple to raise 2 and 3 children. You got 15 and 20 out here. It's hard, man. We know it's hard. So, and I'm glad I don't have to display to act like I'm a good dad. I show them a good dad. They know it,
Yeah. So do you think all of that, the drama that you went through growing up and all of that stuff, not knowing who your father is and the anger and and then jumping over into the quartet scene at a young age, preaching at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting popular, going on the road, singing, everybody love you, screaming your name, buying your records, sleeping with women here and there. Do you think all of that, on top of everything, kind of affected your marriage or had an effect on your marriage?
On both of them.
Both of them.
On both of them. I guess I was just at a point, pride, man. If you want to kill it all, pride. And most men don't like that word. But pride did it. Pride will take a man down. And even when you think you ain't prideful, just sit down for a second. You'll find out, And I will tell you what else it produced. It produced the oil in my life too now. Because a lot of my gospel songs I wrote from hurt. If you go back to the album I did, the Help Me Lift 'Em Up live album we did at Southside, man, all them songs from love to hurt. A lady told my mother in the store one time and said, "That boy must have been hurt in life." She said, "But the songs that he's singing is healing songs." And I thought about like the fight is not over. The song I wrote the song God Will right after I was getting a divorce the first time. Because I had so much chattering from church folk, man. I mean, and I hate to say it like that, man, but some of the evilest people in the world to me is Christian folk, church folk. It was the world people that were telling me, keep going, Mondo, don't stop. We need you. We need to hear you. But at the church folk, wham, wham. And all I could think about, y'all the same folks that stood out there to crucify him. Just go and get rid of him. Because some people don't like the fact that you have a gift, that you're anointed to do what you do. There's a difference between the gift and anointing. I believe I have both. Don't never tie a man or woman wrong that they're not anointed or they don't have the oil. We all still flesh. You go to Romans chapter 7, verse 15 through 21. That's where I'm at right now. That I want to do, I can't do, but I don't do, I end up doing. So I'm looking at Paul like, man, you really talking to me, and I'm trying to get to the last verse. I'm trying to get there, but as I live life, I had to stop and think, stop running from what is causing all this conflict, and don't blame nobody else. I ain't blaming nobody else. It's me. So we sang the song, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the prayer. That ain't just talk. That's for real. It's me. So I'm dealing with this hurt. I'm dealing with this pain. But while I'm dealing with it, I'm causing other folk pain. So, drinking. I ain't do no drug. Drinking, sex, pornography. Man, I was lost in that world. I mean, I can get out the floor, folks falling all on the floor, hollering, Jesus getting saved, knowing everything. I get back to that bus, whole nother life. That's when Armondo come to the stage. Mondo go to the bus. You see what I'm saying? Right. So for a long time, man, I dealt with that. But this is the thing. I had nobody, honestly, that I believe I could talk to at that time. The preachers I did feel like I could trust, they let me down. The one that talked about my first divorce, all three of them got a divorce in 1 year time. And when God told me, said, people better understand, when he said, touch not his anointed one, it don't, not because I'm a preacher, but man, you leave God folk alone. In 1 year time, God showed me that everybody that's talking got something in their closet too. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So talk about that. Talk about the shame or the guilt that comes behind that. Divorce as a preacher, divorce as a pastor, divorce as a renowned gospel singer. Right. Talk about how that affects you in the public's eye. Though, we don't care sometimes what the public thinks.
We be saying it, but I don't know. Right. I don't know.
At the same time, you feel it.
The most thing that I think the shame was, that I feel, is that some people counted on me. But I try not to paint a picture as to look at me. Just keep your eyes on the God in me. Because if you ever start seeing Mondo gonna let you down. But if you see the God in who he's making Armondo to be, his servant to be, and just look at what God has used me as, and just pray. I was looking for that, but it didn't. And I didn't mean to bring no shame on either one of my wives, my children. I never meant that. I never tried. I never just said, I'm going to go out and be a playboy. And none of that stuff never even crossed my heart, across my mind. But if the truth be told, some of the most shameful moments, I don't want to call it shameful. I just didn't like to be in public. People talk, why you don't come into a program? I mean, I don't feel like I even sit in the audience sometimes without somebody having to question me or call my name from the stage. I don't want to hear all that. I'm going to go in the back, or I'm in the back, I'm praying. And not because I'm trying to be better than nobody. I'm trying to prepare myself. Because a lot of time, and my guys will tell you, the best time Mondo's singing when he's upset. Now he go out there, he's singing hard. And when he's singing hard, now something to happen. And when he ain't, then somehow, he might be just at peace. But I would go in the back, sometimes just pray. And not come out and, you go walk up the program, you see people talking, you see them talking, they're talking about you now, you can see it. And I just say, you know what? I won't say it's embarrassment, but it don't feel good. It's uncomfortable, you know, because you never know either one of the stories. Cause you don't know my first wife story. You know my previous wife story. You don't know my story. But whatever the story go, the one thing I feel like people need to do is whatever happens, pray. Cause this is what folks forget about. If the devil don't touch you, if you got kids, that's the first thing he coming at. He touched what's closest to you when you at somebody else. So I learned to keep my mouth off people. I've been trying my best lately not to even think about talking about anybody, the situation that come up. And I know some pastors that they're going through the same thing. When they brought it to me, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that. Not when I'm going, not when you might not know it, but I'm going through the same thing. No. I had a preacher try to talk about another preacher to me. I almost said some turkey words. You know what I'm saying? I said some words overseas to him. Don't talk to me about another man of the cloth or woman of the cloth as if everything you got is right. And this is what I feel like. A lot of folk hide their stuff and want to bring out the stuff that may be in the forefront. But what about the stuff you do on the back scene that nobody know? And if you don't watch it, it'll come back and bite you. I'm a living witness. It happened to me plenty of times. So I'll try to keep my mouth off of that and just, let people talk. And that's what I'm learning. That's why I'm in therapy. Let them talk, let them say, because there's been many times, even now, man, I promise you, man, there's some people don't understand. I had to make sure Armondo stay dormant. I promise you. Some of them right now that I be asking God help me. Cause I don't want to do nothing to hurt nobody. But I mean, there's some people, bro, it just at a point, man, I be like, God, when I see him, let the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost come in me at a point that I could just smile and say hello. But a lot of time, man, I sit there, man, and if I don't watch it, my mind contemplate if I ever see him. Yeah. And I don't want that, man. I don't. Now, most preachers won't say that because they want to be picture perfect. But, man, flesh,
So, ministry, let's talk ministry. How's ministry been? At what age did you accept this call?
I accepted the call. I was 15. I was scared to death. We was at church, and the church, we was about to close out of service, and I was playing the keyboard, and I heard this voice come to me, said, "Preacher, I'll kill you," just like that. And I'm looking around like, ain't nobody talking to me. I know anybody in here. I'm young, 15. So I start unhooking the keyboard like I ain't heard nothing, and it says again, "Preach or you are done." I went straight to the pulpit and announced that day that the Lord called me to preach, and the church went explosive. And I didn't preach at 15. I started at 16 and in school. I was this church boy. But in the churches I come out of, we didn't have training. We didn't have schools. We didn't have classes to teach you how to do this. I just know it was my time to preach. And when I did good for about 2-3 years. I was this church boy, wasn't with suits, man, wasn't going to the club. Man, I'm around turn 18, going around 19. And I started seeing stuff I used to see on TV. I'm like, do I want to continue to do this? Or, but I kept at it. I never did stop. No matter what I did, I never stopped at it. So I started at 16 years old preaching. I preached my first sermon at 16 in Macon, Mississippi.
Yeah. And you've been pastoring how long?
17 years. I pastored. I got married in April. Started pastoring in May. Never shouldn't have happened, but that's how I happened. I wasn't ready to pastor. I left a church mad. And when I left the church mad, I said, I'm gonna show y'all, and I showed them too. Cause I had a house full of people. I mean, it was just, all the way down the hall, all the way in the kitchen, they were there. I thought I was doing something. I'm for the pastor these people knowing, but pastoring is not an occupation, man. It's deeper than that to me. Into that fivefold gift, man. It's a great gift from God. It's a call from, but man, it's your life. Anybody that's doing them fivefold, if you ain't giving your life, you ain't doing it. Cause you really giving you giving up who you want to be, what you want to do. You know, some folk can get by with stuff just being a minister. Yeah. But when you start being a teacher, pastor, prophet, evangelist, apostle, you through. It's over with. Yes, it's a whole nother call.
You got a different weight to it.
Different weight to it, yes. And people hold you more accountable than just being a, you know, they're going, oh, that preacher, you know, he preach. Well, you said pastor, oh man, you're in a whole nother bracket.
Like in boxing, you're in a different weight class.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ain't in the middleweight now. You're in the heavyweight.
Okay.
You know, lightweight, you're a Christian. Middleweight, you're a preacher. But heavyweight, you're a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So how's ministry and pastoring going now? Well, before we go there, talk about the weight of being a pastor and trying to lead a family at the same time. You know, trying to lead a congregation and a family.
I think if I'd have put more emphasis on pastoring my family, probably still been together. Because you're trying to do so right on this side. It's a God thing. God called you to God. But really, man, God called us to handle our house first. I would never taught that. You know, I just church, man. My mama went in labor with me at church. I've been in church all my life, man. If there's a wham come out, church. You know, so I tried to church my family instead of trying to protect them, instead of trying to be the husband and the father. So my gift was an scapegoat because that's where I got paid at. That was my occupation. That's how I took care of them. And between wives, that's when I developed a fan base. And when I did that, I lost it. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh man, I'm somebody now. When in nationality, I really ain't nobody. You know. So it's been a struggle because I dragged them, man. They've been with me every church I pastored, every church I played for. They've been right there. So most of my kids' good years and could have been good years with my marriage. I missed it, man. And it taught me a lesson that church is good, but it ain't all about that if you don't know how to minister to your house, man. You know, and I'm saying what I preached against, what I preach to help other people, that I hit it. Life hit me. That, you know, I did more church than trying to nurture my marriage. I did more church than trying to take care of my kids. My kids got games. I'm on the road singing and preaching, you know. And I thought I had to do that because that's the only way I brought money to the house. I had to do it. And it wasn't even all about that. You know, God was still going to take care of me if I didn't, but I had to, you know, do that. So I failed at family, and I was a success at faith. Yeah. Strong, man.
Yeah.
Strong.
Sometimes we look at it like, well, I got the masses over here, and
yes.
This is just a few here, so surely the few can understand that.
Right.
You know, the masses are calling. You know,
right,
I got to go and preach. I got to go and sing.
Right.
I got to go and pastor.
Right.
You know.
And I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and all the time my family was crying for me, or crying out for me, and I always played the blame game until I had to learn better. Armondo, ain't nobody fault but yours. Yeah. Man up. Just a few months ago, I got on Facebook Live, and I manned up. You know, I wasn't talking bad about the previous church I was at. I wasn't talking bad about people. I just let people know, you know, listen, this is what it is. You know, they were like, Armondo, you don't owe nobody nothing. I'm not giving it to owe nobody nothing. I hope I'm helping somebody to understand that all of us got life, but if you got an opportunity to fix it, fix it. It's the best way you can. And if you can't, all on you then.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. Let's talk about this quartet world we in now. You know, quartet a little different than back then. You know.
I probably get some views behind this one. I don't. Well, I do, but I don't understand how the groups that's coming up now. And between 2000 and 2010, we had a change. But the change we had, we respected the guys before us. Something after 2010 changed. The guys don't respect the generals no more. They feel like they hot, they better. I mean, me and you been on the road when some of these kids was in diapers, but now they just, man, they done blew up to the point now they're disrespectful. Okay, they disrespectful. They don't have no respect. They have no honor. So, what is making it look like, and what's happening is, you got too many cliques. You got your Alabama clique, you got your Mississippi clique, you got your Chicago clique, and everybody in cliques, you can tell by the program. And once you get in those cliques, you support or push the folk that you think is hot. And then the folk that got named that should be able to hold the whole quartet world up, they playing the same backwood game too. So, man, quartet right now is too much Anna. It's too much fighting. It's too much, I'm better than you, or we hot, we finna bust this house, we finna knock this down. And really, you hot at home. You ain't no pro. You hot. If I'm only hot in Columbus and I can't go to Aliceville and be warm at least, I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? So you may be home, you may be hot in Mississippi, going out to Vegas, going on the East Coast. And if you hot out there, then we could talk. But then this is another thing. You could be hot and broke. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's most wrong now. And I think one of my brothers was talking about it, how, if you know your budget is $1,500 to pay your musicians, you can't charge a promoter $2,500 and they ain't got a CD from you. You ain't got no song on YouTube. You ain't got no song on Spotify. It's free. You know what I'm saying? And then some of the ones that got songs, you hot in your area. You hadn't even been promoted out. So you may go to the Ecclesia. You may go to the GTA Award, and you may be just hot on hot. But then you go right there to another black belt, another program, and folks sit down on you. So I think if we will come together and quit showing favoritism, and some of them fake, man. I promise this probably about the best subject you're gonna get out of me tonight. Some of them it's so hurtful because back in the day, quartet used to pack out any house. Yeah. It came to, if Lee Williams was over here, or the Kansas was over here, or the Williams brothers over here, they all had a packed crowd. It came to one time, all of them could be in one spot and still have a packed crowd. God was showing us then. Us that's younger should have been seeing, what do we need to do to get our crowd back? No disrespect to the older guys. Nothing that they probably have done. Everything started changing. So how do I study this? What I need to do is, I need to honor Lee Williams. I need to honor Harvard Walker. I need to honor Doug and Melvin Williams. I need to honor these guys, and not only those guys, but the guys at home, Al Hinton and the Golden Gates in my area. If I never show honor, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Now, it don't hurt me not to be on the program with some of these guys. And sometimes we be on it, they always say what the last ain't nobody saying to no high. You done did all this jumping around and stuff like that. I said, and I told one time, I said, I bet you won't let them put me in front of you before the crowd leave. You know what I'm saying? Since you want to do that. But it's almost like a competition thing. And I had to watch that because that's a thin line. Now, it's best to leave Armondo at ministry. If you come in with competition, I'm going to come at you with everything I got. I'm going to study all week. I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask God help me because I know it's going to be bad. But I make sure when I'm coming to the stage, bro, I'm going to eyeball you without saying anything to let you know I'm coming for you tonight. But I don't want that. That Mondo he ain't been here a long time. So these youngsters better leave me out of the equation. But quartet now, I really believe we do have young artists that's good. They're great, but they have no honor. None of them. I call it name. I'm just being honest. They ain't got no honor. They feel like they just spiked. Right. They ain't never had a record deal. Music on YouTube. Probably don't get no check from BMI.
You gotta talk about that, man. Redemption back in the days, like y'all was.
I'm still getting paid.
Tier.
I'm still getting paid today.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying? Help me lift them up. Other show, man. It may not be a lot of money, but guess what? I'm still getting paid off my stuff. Mm-hmm. And most of these guys don't even know what BMI is. They write songs, don't even know. But we just hot. You just want to be hot. I want to leave a legacy. Lee Williams should have taught all of us. Man, 2 years after this man left the stage, he was still hot. I mean, how you do that? You laying in a bed. Come on, man. Family watching you had to take care of you. But you still the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like they're scared if he just walk through the door. We do. Just everybody just go home. But he showed us something. Humbleness was the way, man. I've seen this man sit at the back of an arena that was jam-packed until everybody leave. He just sat down. Long as they want to come talk to him, take pictures with him. But all the so-called pros going to the hotel and doing what they want to do. But I watched that for years, man. And that helped me. Now, my private years, some folk I thought I ain't had to talk to. I had my chest stuck out. But I promise you, it come down quick. Yeah, it come down quick, bro. Until now, I be going to folk talking to them. Hey, how you doing? Somebody talk to me. Leave me out here by myself, But
He definitely showed the way, man. Like, because it's a proverb that in order to gain a friend, you first got to show yourself to be friendly.
No doubt.
And so for Quartet, in order to gain fans or in order to gain support, you got to show yourself.
You got to
be, a man of the people.
That's right.
That's what Lee was.
That's right. He was a people man. Not only a people man. If you want to describe Lee was a guy we should have watched. I'm talking about not from singing, because you heard people say this. He wasn't the best singer. Stand in one spot and just sing. I saw folk from the choir world laugh and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, that man hot as John P. Kurt Franklin, Fred Hammond, Yolanda Adams. I said, if you don't believe me, ask them. Right. They talk about him all the time. I remember when they, I think they gave him a jacket or something out of state. Man, the people in his sick age grabbed their mic and just said, I can't give up. Just the song. I saw pros crying. It showed you that if you humble yourself, God will exalt you. Yeah. That's what I had to do. I promise you, man. It was one time, man, when you come sing the benefit pro, unless you pay her. Come on, man. It couldn't be like that. I had to ask God, help me not to be in a place where I just do it and it become a mockery. That I do it, I'm making money doing it, and if they don't pay me, I ain't got to. I don't want that attitude. That attitude will drag you to the ground so quick, And, there was a time Redemption made good money. I mean, you out there making $2,500 a night, blowing the money. You on the bus, your dream just came true. And you misuse it, man, God will snatch it from you. I'm in that stage right now. So that's why I don't care about being hot now. I don't care you put me in the middle of the program, end the program, begin the program. It don't matter. If it's two people there, I'm going to sing to them folk and be through with that. If God get the glory, I'm fine. And now we got plus. When me and you were coming, we didn't have Facebook Live like this now. If I had Facebook Live when we were coming up, I better look at these youngsters now, man, you ain't talking about nothing. Okay.
I'm saying, man, talk about their own record deals and all the stuff that y'all had on the table, man.
Listen, this is no joke. People, and one day we're gonna do a segment. I want the 5 originals here, and I hope the Lord keep them alive where we can do this. We sat down at the table with Sony. We had a major. The best manager in life, Dr. Ella Mahmoud, is who managed Redemption. We had Bobby Champion as our lawyer. They wasn't letting nothing get past. We sat at the record tables with Melindo Records, which is the William Brothers record brother, Sony, McLean. Just a lot of them. When they paired the contract, what y'all got to understand is y'all ain't sitting at the table with just guys. You sitting at the table with Bobby Champion. This man handling probably Prince stuff, Michael Jackson stuff. He ain't no joke. So it's a lot of time we probably like, man, we could have been a sign, but man, we were saved because if we'd have signed of life, we'd have been flipping burgers today. So doing something trying to make it because you forget your music career unless you change your name or something, you know. So the Lord blessed us to have walked through some of the channels that some of these guys are going through. Okay, now you don't have to have a record come now if you got money. You know, I mean, it's different things with that. But to get a record deal, you better know what you're signing away. You know what I'm saying? A record come tell you, I'm gonna put you out there, but I'm gonna give you 10% and we're gonna take 90. You ain't sign Armondo. But some of them are signed. You'll jump out there and do a record, and that may be the only record you do that's a good record. And now you done signed it over. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, some people are hot and that's all they want to do. That record companies, I'm with Vigor Records right now, a good record company. My best record company I've been with was Redeem Records. That's the best one. Now, I guess Vigor got to come up. And I mean, they might get mad with that. I really don't care. But Redeem Records, we were nominated for a Stellar. We made the first round. You know what I'm saying? So, but do you hear me float that? I ain't trying to float that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to float it because I ain't make it to the second round. I made the second round, probably float a little bit. But I can say that it went across the board. We made that point. So what do I do next? Now, one man ought to be in the ballot somewhere. But if it don't, I know as of the age I am now that I'm going to have to push it myself. And I look in the camera and say that you youngsters hear me now. You can sign with a record label, but they going to push you to make their money. I'm going to say it again slowly. They going to push you to make their money. They're going to tell you why you ain't sharing this, why, because every time you share, they get paid. But you better start asking them, what you doing? If you can't talk like that, and be men and women in business, you sign with somebody, you tell them, no, man, I ain't going to do all the work and get you paid, and then I don't get paid. Man, no, that ain't Bible.
And so that's how it is now. Back then when we was coming up, like everybody was like it was the thing to get signed.
Yeah.
Because that was really the only way you was gonna really make it in quartet was to be signed.
The manager we had, Dr. Ella Mahmoud, and this is what some of these guys don't do. We had to go to class. See, Ecclesia ain't nowhere near what it used to be.
Right.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all heard that in Miss Harvey and Miss Elsa, if y'all do see this. It ain't nowhere near.
You remember the first Ecclesia?
Yeah. You go class.
Okay.
We had to go class.
Classes. Yes, sir.
Man, these folks ain't getting taught now. They just going to church. Yeah. No, man. Teach these people. Man, Dr. Mahmoud put people in our life. Doc McKenzie, Keith Wonderboy, George Dean schooled us. Do you hear me? I remember one time we was doing Doc McKenzie's, I think it's anniversary weekend. He came in the dressing room, looked me in my eye, and said, I don't need you to be Harvey Watkins tonight, which is my idol, by the way. I don't need you to be Harvey tonight. They need to see Mondo. I'm nervous, palms sweating. I said, I don't even know who Mondo is. I'm doing what I've been doing since I started. He said, when you step on the stage, be him. He turned around and walked out the room. I'm sweating bullets. Like, what do I supposed to do? When I hit the stage, it had to be God. Nothing about Mr. Harvey come out of me because that's all I watched. But the next night, he said, wherever you left Harvey last night, go give him night. Need you be Harvey here tonight? I was confused as bad. I said, my goodness, I don't know. But they was training us. Watch your house.
Yes, sir.
Know what you're doing. Most guys now think they got to go out there and jump and bust how I want. Me and Homer Judon were talking about this just a couple of days ago. If the slow song hit the house, I sing the dry tomorrow. Most folks and most groups now, mid, fast, slow. Either way, in either order. Just bust house with that. It may be your first song that minister. Bye-bye. See you in a minute and be gone. And I think that would help because I know groups now. I was at a program not too long ago. I got song 9 songs. You ain't hot, bro. You hot on Clio. You ain't hot nowhere else. You got good musicians, but you ain't hot. You know what I'm saying? And I would say something else, but it may hurt, man. You got Redemption old band, but you ain't hot. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be careful of trying to be pro at home. You got 5 groups behind you. You singing 9 songs, bro. Man, sing 2, 3, and go. That's what I feel. But see, nobody gonna tell them that. And I know I may get backlash, which I'm ready for that because I'm gonna let them know. That's why folk don't respect quartet now, because they see us fight from the stage. Most of us need to go on stage with boxing gloves on and go at it. Because that's all we doing. You know? I'm finna go and going around telling folks, put me up now, put me up first. I don't even do that. I got upset with a guy and I told him, I said, if I don't get up now, all my group finna glee. I'm finna go. Cause you do this every time. Every time we on the program, he do the same thing. They want to lie on the phone. They want to say you for last, the best for last. You know, you don't even like me. How you gonna say the best for last? You know. So I just don't want to make it a match thing. We got to better go to quartet program and people see us like, man, I want to go to another, man. They were together. Man, we fighting each other. It was a time the choir was fighting the quartet or the quartet fighting quartet. Now quartet fighting quartet.
Yes, sir.
So we missing.
Facebook, man.
Oh man, we missing. We missing, man. And most of the stuff over women, that ain't neither one of y'all.
Yeah.
Cause when you in town, she yours. He in town, he yours. But then next week, they somebody else. The truth be told.
He with him.
Oh yeah. And you in California somewhere. You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we fight over the simplest thing: who the hottest, who the better, who get the most plays. You know, we fight over some of the stupidest stuff. Yeah. If we came together, wouldn't it be nice if at the beginning of the quartet program, let's get there and go in the room, pray together. If it ain't all of y'all, send a representative. Pray, let this program be great. The 15, 20 minutes they give us, let's get, and stop lying on the Holy Ghost when you go over your time. Oh, I feel the Holy Ghost. You should have felt the Holy Ghost the first 10 minutes. Yeah, you don't want, man. Them such right there can be dangerous, preacher.
Man, hey, I guess, man, you can wrap it up how you want to, man. You know what I'm saying? What you feel?
Okay. I want to say this. If you can admit to your wrong, admit to your struggles, admit to where you fell off at, and ask God to help you. It may take time, but let him mold you. Let him shape you. I'm in a place right now, I'm deleting all religious people, all traditional people out of my brain. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. It's sad to say, even a lot of churches that call themselves quote unquote right, the Pentecostal churches, whatever, they call themselves right. I don't want to have no dealings with none of them. I want God to take me, mold me to handle the generation he put me over. I'm not trying to win mama and them because they already won. I ain't really trying to win aunties and uncles. But some of these youngsters out here on this street, I want to win them. When I preach, this is how I preach. This is my attire. At my church, I don't wear suits. I would do it at somebody else's church out of respect. But Redemption Worship Center, Aliceville, Alabama, is a church that I believe God is building that I can show people. It's not about your image outside. It's about what's on the inside. If we could change the inside of a man, the outside always come change. But all these churches still preaching against women wearing pants, women wearing makeup. This ain't right. You ain't saved if you ain't baptized this way. You ain't saved if you don't go to my church. You're going to hell for this. Folks send folks to hell for everything. I don't want that life. Show me Jesus. And that's my final statement to all of y'all. If I can't point you to Jesus, I'm not pointing you nowhere. All of you singers, all of you preachers, admit to your hurt, admit to your wrong, and ask God to help you. And listen, don't be afraid to go get help. If you need a therapist, go. If you need a counselor, go. You need somebody to pray with you, preacher, anybody that you trust, go. Do not get out here by yourself to try to fight this battle because you will lose it every single time. All right? So I want to say this. Thank y'all for listening to me pour out who I am. It might not mean nothing to you, but it means something to me that I hope that it help somebody. Peace.